CBS 12 News this morning, Mass in Schools is the laser focus today for school board members of Palm Beach County. We have a live report what we expect at this special meeting happening in just hours.
And the First Treasure Coast School District now mandating masks, while Indian River County is joining the rising number of districts to go against the governor's executive order.
Plus, we'll find out today, will a lawsuit filed by parents across Florida all about face coverings in school live to see another day? A judge could decide very soon. CBS 12 News this morning starts now.
You're watching CBS 12 News this morning.
In just a few hours, Palm Beach County School District will hold a special board meeting on its mask mandate. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Ashley Glass. The list keeps growing here. Local districts making masks the rule, the latest on the Treasure Coast. We'll fill you in.
But first, let's check in with meteorologist Lauren Oleski here at 6 a.m.
Matt, thanks. We've got a couple showers making their way closer onshore this morning. Some light rain popping up right across the West Palm Beach area there. A lot of dust still in place. Now, we're going to start to see some improvements through the day today and into tomorrow, but this dust is hanging out with us at least for the rest of the day. This is now 1:20 tomorrow morning, so we're going to see those improvements through the day Thursday. Tropical moisture is going to start working its way into the area as well as we head into tomorrow, so we'll see a little bit of a higher rain chance. Another dust plume behind it. This could move into the area by the end of the weekend and early next week. Hour by hour for you this morning. Getting hot out there again. We're back near 88 by 11. Matt, Ashley.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Taking a look right now at our roads here at 601. This is in St. Lucie County where you see all green. That's great because we're not seeing any major problems on our roadways at this time. Well, this morning, more Florida school districts are taking action to protect students as the Delta variant is raging in our state. We're looking at some brand new data that is coming in. It shows that Florida is leading the nation in new COVID hospitalizations with over 14,000. We're also averaging more daily deaths than at any other point during the pandemic. Right now, that number is 228 deaths every day. All of this has some school districts defying the governor's executive order of banning mask mandates. Our Terry Hornstein live at the Palm Beach County School District this morning. There's a special meeting today taking up the district's rules on masks. So Terry, what do we expect there to happen today?
Hey, good morning. Well, the school board here is expected to discuss their new mask policy. Today will be the third day of this new policy in effect. They'll also discuss the governor's executive order calling for districts to be punished that do not provide an opt-out option for students as when it comes to masks. And this is an order that the school board here decided to go against last week. So yesterday, parents did receive a letter in the mail explaining why the board decided to put this mask mandate into effect. And in the letter, we also learned more about the discipline if students don't have their masks on at school. So let's break it down for you here. First, a facial covering will be offered to the student. Then the principal could call a conference with the student or with the parent as well, depending on the age of the student. Now, if the student still doesn't comply, they could lose their privileges. They could lose their extracurricular activities. Then they could even be removed from class. That means indoor suspension or even out of school suspension. So yesterday we did talk to the superintendent of the Palm Beach County School District, and Mike Burke, and he said the school board is looking out for the health of the students here.
Our board made a courageous decision and they did what they felt was right. It was not easy for them, I know. We're not doing this to be vindictive or harsh. We're just trying to keep everybody safe.
Now listen to this. The district says in just the 3 weeks since school began, the number of COVID cases is about half the number they saw all last year. And that's really why they decided to put this mask policy into place. So the district says this mask policy is in effect for the next 90 days, but they will be revisiting it periodically, just checking on the numbers, seeing if they still need it in place. We're all hoping the numbers begin to go down. So the meeting today is open to the public. So if you're interested in attending, it is here at district headquarters at 2 p.m. Of course, we'll be at the meeting and we'll let you know everything the board discusses today. Matt and Ashley.
All right, Terry, 6:04 new this morning. Indian River County School Board just voted to make masks mandatory. Starting on Monday, students kindergarten through 8th grade and staff will have to wear masks. Parents can only opt out for their kids with a medical note. This mandate's in effect until September 15th. And so far, 10 school districts across the state have mask mandates. You see it here. Districts from South Florida all the way to the Panhandle are going against the governor's executive order and state statute. These districts could lose state funding equal to the salaries of their board members.
Now, school districts really spread out all over the state. At 6:05 this morning, the legal battle pitting parents that want mask mandates against the governor and the state education leaders is intensifying.
Later this morning, a judge is expected to decide if a lawsuit filed by dozens of parents about masks in schools will move on. And
our Kara Duffy has been following developments from these hearings all week long. Kara, a big day today expected.
That's right. A judge is expected to make a ruling on this high-profile case as early as today. This after we heard a full 2 days of testimony. And yesterday, we even heard from the governor, the state also calling on medical experts who argued there's evidence of physical and developmental harm to children from wearing masks, and added that there's little proof that they even stop the spread of COVID-19. They want parents to have the right to make that call, not local school boards. Take a listen.
Defendants don't dispute or doubt that plaintiffs love their children and want what is best for them. But ultimately, the decision of who decides what should cover a child's face is left to the child's parents.
And earlier in the day, attorneys representing the families who filed that lawsuit against the state argued that mandatory masking, it's important for the greater good of society. They're not asking the governor to enforce mask mandates. They're just asking that local school boards have the right to make their own decisions without facing punishment. As of right now, we just heard several Florida school districts, including here in Palm Beach County, defying the governor's executive order, which bans mask mandates. Again, we could get a ruling on this as early as this morning. Matt?
All right, Kara, thank you. 6:06, and this morning we are learning the mask mandate rules are not the same at all district schools in Palm Beach County. Some charter schools are creating their own mask policies and deciding how to discipline students who don't comply. Charter schools are governed by their own individual boards, which means they have more power to make their own rules. CBS 12 News spoke to a number of parents, and we learned Imagine Chancellor Charter School in Boynton Beach is keeping students who refuse to wear a mask in a separate room, away from classmates and teachers. A local mother told us that her son was in that room.
Said we are taking all the students that are not wearing masks and not complying and putting them in a holding room. And I said, okay, so you're segregating the children. And she said, we're putting them in a holding room.
Charter schools receive funding from the district even if they don't have to play by the same rules. That means if the State Board of Education does decide to withhold funding from Palm Beach County School District, it could affect some of them as well.
6:07 now. We've been reporting on this for months. There's a major shortage of school bus drivers in Palm Beach County, and it's causing this crowding buses. It's impossible to social distance here. You see kids sitting on the floor just trying to get to school on time. Well, this morning, we're learning the school board is looking at different ways to fill about 100 positions open right now for school bus drivers, like a pay increase. The district is also holding a job fair tomorrow, starting at 9:30 at the school district bus facility on Summit Boulevard. Starting pay is $15 an hour plus benefits. Candidates will also be paid for up to 80 hours of training. We have all of this, how to apply, on our website now, CBS12.com.
6:08 this morning, a new COVID testing site is opening up in Wellington. It's coming as we're seeing a demand for COVID testing. It's hard to get one right now. That's a live look at the aquatics complex where people will be able to test themselves for free. Healthcare workers will be there to help people through the process. This will be open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. on weekdays.
As we're getting you ready for the Wednesday, the president just updated the world on where things stand in Afghanistan. Will the U.S. make the deadline to get out of the Taliban-controlled country? As time is ticking, less than 1 week out.
A UF education without the long drive to Gainesville. How local leaders are trying to bring a campus right here to our own backyard. It's coming up in 5 minutes.
Plus, devastating flooding in Tennessee over the weekend. We're breaking down exactly how this flooding took shape and why we could see more of these events happening globally over the next several years. That's coming up. You're watching CBS 12 News this morning.